Hello everyone, welcome back to the virtual class of history. So today we are going to discuss about Subhash Chandra Bose, formation of forward bloc, the objectives of forward bloc and the formation of Indian National Army. So before that we will try to discuss a little bit about the early life of Subhash Chandra Bose and his educational career. So let's start. Subhash Chandra Bose, popularly known as Netaji, was born on 23rd of January 1897 at Cuttack in a very respectable family, that is a middle class family. So after completing his graduation he went to England. So why did he go to England? To compete in the Indian Civil Service examination in the year 1920, and after competing he stood fourth in the ICSE examination. He got an opportunity to serve the ICSE, but he decided not to serve the British government. So he decided to serve the country. So for that, what did he do? He resigned from the civil service and came back to India. He then joined the Indian National Congress under the inspiration of Chittaranjan Das and Mahatma Gandhi. So then he began his political career to fight against the British Raj to free the country from the British rule. He suffered imprisonment a number of times. He was always against the moderates of the Congress and vehemently opposed to continuance of the British rule in India in any form. So he was completely against the British rule to continue in our country. So when he joined the Congress, at that time he was not popular, but slowly and gradually due to his hard work and dedication, he started becoming popular among the people. He twice became the president of Indian National Congress. Twice he became the president of Indian National Congress. That is in the year 1938, that is in Haripura session. He was elected as the president of Indian National Congress, and again in 1939 he was elected as the president of Indian National Congress, that is in Tripura, that is in Central Province. So in spite of being the president of Indian National Congress, he could not work according to his own wishes, and due to the differences between Gandhiji, differences of opinion with Gandhiji, he resigned from the Indian National Congress. So once he resigned from the Indian National Congress, what did he do? He then formed the forward bloc. So why there was what were the differences of opinion between Gandhiji and Subhash Chandra Bose? Number of reasons are there, like Gandhiji, Subhash Chandra Bose always was in favor of industrialization, but Gandhiji was opposed to that. He was in favor of agriculture and all. Okay, so when Second World War started, Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to start the national movement, but Gandhiji there also was not in favor of starting the movement. So number of reasons were there which created a gulf between Gandhiji and Subhash Chandra Bose, though he was the president, but he could not work according to his wishes. That is why he resigned from the Indian National Congress and then started a forward bloc. So in the year 1939, forward bloc was formed based on socialist ideas. So what were the objectives of forward bloc? So it is not that it is a different party, so the objectives will be different, but similar to the objectives of Indian National Congress, but the means to achieve it was completely different from the Gandhian ideology. Okay, so you can see here, number one, what were the objectives? This is the part which is very, very important as for the reduced syllabus. Okay, to liberate India from the British rule. The liberate means to free India from the British rule. That was the objective of the forward bloc. Okay, next one you can see here, Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to establish a new state. He wanted to establish a new state on what basis? On the basis of socialist thought. So as we know that he was inclined towards socialism. As you know that what is meant by socialism? Socialism is a system in which the wealth of the country is equally distributed among the people of the country. Okay, so there is no place of capitalism. So socialist is, he was inclined towards socialism. So after independence, what type of establishment? Socialist establishment. Okay, so number three, reorganization of agriculture and industry. So he wanted to reorganize agriculture and industry on socialist lines. Okay, Then next one you can see here, abolition of zamindari system. He was not in favor of zamindari system, so he wanted to abolish zamindari system. Okay, with that zamindari system, and to introduce a new economic system that also based on socialist ways. So these were the objectives of forward bloc. Okay, so these are the 5 points which comes under the objectives of a forward bloc. Okay, so that is all about forward bloc. Now let us move towards the formation of INA, how it was formed. Okay, so after resigning from the Indian National Congress, forward bloc was formed. Okay, so he started his movement under the banner of forward bloc. What happened? We can see that in the meantime, Second World War broke out, and Subhash Chandra Bose wanted to utilize his opportunity in favor of Indians. So what did he do? He decided to make an alliance with the foreign powers and free his motherland. How? By armed struggle against the British rule. So as you know, that Europe was divided into 2 power camps. So he wanted to join the other camp, which was against the British rule. Okay, so the British government at that time in India suspected that this man Subhash Chandra Bose was trying to make a secret negotiation with the enemy power in Europe. For that, he was arrested and was kept in the jail. But later on, he realized that he was creating problem in the jail. He went for hunger strike and all. He was not ready to eat food and all. Okay, so then British government realized that if he stays in jail, if anything happens to him, then there will be a big problem for us. So he decided to release him and was kept under house arrest. He was allowed to stay in house but under arrest. He was not allowed to go anywhere. So he was kept under house arrest, that is in Calcutta. So later on, Subhash Chandra Bose thought that if I stay here, simply will be a waste of time. I need to do something to free my country. So what did he do? He escaped from the house arrest. He escaped from the house arrest. He disguised himself in a Pathan dress and he escaped from house arrest. Okay, and he reached to Germany. So after which way he went? Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan and Russia, and from Russia he went to Germany. So he wanted to meet with German Chancellor, that is Hitler. So he went and met with Hitler. So Hitler was ready to help him in all possible ways, but very soon he felt that Germany was not at all interested to help him to achieve his objectives. So what did he do? He left Germany and went to Japan. He could have come to the same route through which he had gone, but in the meantime Germany had declared war on Russia, so that way he cannot come. So that is why he moved to Japan. Okay, so in Japan what was going on, or in Singapore we can say that Rash Behari Bose was an Indian leader. He was exiled Indian revolutionary living in Singapore. Okay, he came forward to organize a movement against the British government with the help of Captain Mohan Singh. Okay, Captain Mohan Singh. So there, after formation of Indian National Army was formed by Mohan Singh. Okay, and there Subhash Chandra Bose was invited also. Before that, Subhash Chandra Bose had a negotiation with the Japanese authorities also. Japanese Prime Minister Tojo was ready to help him financially and military help. Okay, and then Subhash Chandra Bose was handed over with the leadership of INA. So INA was handed over to Subhash Chandra Bose, and then those 45,000 captured Indian forces which were there, they were mobilized by Subhash Chandra Bose. He encouraged them to fight for the motherland. They became ready also, and with that Indian National Army under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose became more and more stronger. Okay, after that Subhash Chandra Bose then founded his headquarter at Rangoon, that is in Burma. Okay, capital of Burma was Rangoon that time, and Singapore also. Netaji named his different regiments under the name of national leaders. Different regiments were there, like Gandhi Brigade was there, Nehru Brigade was there, Bahadur Brigade was there, and Jhansi Rani Brigade was there. So Dr. Swaminathan, yeah, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan was made the leader of the women regiment. There was one lady in the picture. In many of the pictures you see, so she was made the that means the leader of a women regiment. Okay, when Japan handed over Andaman and Nicobar Island to Subhash Chandra Bose, that was captured by Japan. Then Netaji renamed that island as Shahid or Swaraj Island. And then for the first time, the provincial government was established in that territory. Okay, and he also gave a famous slogan like Jai Hind, Delhi Chalo, and his most famous slogan was "Tum mujhe khoon do, main tumhe azadi dunga." Like you give me blood, I will give you freedom. These were some of the famous slogans of Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so let us discuss about the collapse of INA. Like Subhash Chandra Bose was given a lot of help from Japanese government also. Japan was very stronger at the initial stage. After capturing Singapore, Malaya, they had reached up to the doorsteps of India also. So Japan gave all support to Subhash Chandra Bose and INA. Okay, so the success of INA was short-lived. What happened? Japan had to withdraw the forces for their engagement with the United States of America, because they had to fight on the Pacific Ocean also. So they had to withdraw forces from this region. Okay, at the same time rainy season started in this region. Then what to do? Rainy season also was there. Japan also had withdrawn. So British army also organized their forces and started counter attack. They slowly captured, that means the British government, the British army slowly captured Rangoon in the May 1945. Then INA soldiers though fought heroically, okay, but with the collapse of Japan, as you know that in 1945 only atom bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. With that Japan had to withdraw from the Second World War, and Japan surrender made INA also very weak. So with the collapse of Japan in the Second World War, the the fate of INA also was completely sealed. So INA could not stand on its own and to meet a defeat. Then what happened? INA soldiers, then officers were disarmed, they were arrested, okay, and they were made the prisoners of war. It is said that in order to escape, Netaji left from that region and he went to Tokyo, and it is been believed that he might have died in a plane crash. But people still refuse to believe this story of air crash. So till today it's a mystery what happened to Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so Subhash Chandra Bose policy of receiving support from fascist power like Germany, Japan had been severely criticized from different quarters. But it should be remembered, my dear, that he did this only for India's freedom, nothing else. Whatever he did for India's freedom. So this is the outstanding effort of Subhash Chandra Bose. People did not know what actually he was. People thought he was an enemy of India. He was he was taking help from Germany and all to defeat India. But actual motive was to fight against the British rule. But later on, when these prisoners of wars were brought to Delhi, that time people realized the real intentions of INA and all. So with that, people started understanding the real efforts of Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, so now what were the contributions? So next topic, last topic is what were the contributions of Subhash Chandra Bose and INA. You know that INA moved, okay, we can say that INA's movement had inspired the armed forces in India. Many armed forces were also there who were helping the British government and all, like the Navy mutiny in Bombay. Naval mutiny started in Bombay. That was the direct consequences of the inspiration they got from INA. Okay, similar movement also started in Calcutta, Madras and Karachi. It was now felt in the official circle that it would be impossible to hold India by force any longer. These are the forces. Now they are going against us. So with their help, now we cannot dream of holding India for a longer period. INA and the naval mutiny had shaken the very base of the Indian administration. Not only this, the workers also demonstrated in support of Navy mutiny. The workers working in factories and all, they also demonstrated in support of naval mutiny. Bombay CPI called for a general strike. Communist Party of India. Bombay CPI called for a general strike and a hunger. And a huge number of workers came out of the factories in support of the Royal Indian Mutiny, Royal Indian Navy. So, when the first time in 1945, when the trial began, the INA soldiers which were imprisoned in Red Fort, when the trial began, the Indian people first came to know that was the time when the Indian people came to know about the heroic activities of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the INA. The whole India protested against the trial of the heroes. In Calcutta, there were street classes for protest against the trial of heroes. Okay, so in Calcutta, there were street class for continuous 2 days. 2 days between the police and the students. After the nationwide turmoil, the government announced to try only those INA members who were accused of murder and brutalities only. So they will try cases only on those INA soldiers who were accused of murder and brutalities only. The rest will be freed. The government understood that the trial would produce disastrous result for the Raj. So the INA prisoners are ultimately released by the government. Okay, and then the British Prime Minister Clement Attlee had to say that the British could no longer expect to govern India depending on the loyal support of the Indian Army or the police. So INA movement was a swan song of India's struggle for freedom. So INA's movement has inspired a lot of Indian workers as well as the naval personnel to go against the British rule. So definitely, if these soldiers can do for the country, why not we? Why are we serving the British government? That is why mutiny started, naval mutiny, workers movement started. So the real picture of INA and the role of Subhash Chandra Bose was known to the Indian people when the trial of those prisoners were started in Delhi, that is at Red Fort. People came to know about their real intention. So this is all about the formation of Indian National Army as well as the contributions of Indian National Army. So if you talk about just now whatever we discuss, it is all about the contribution. If you talk about INA means Subhash Chandra Bose, only we are discussing about contribution of Subhash Chandra Bose, because he was associated with Indian National Army. He was not an army personnel. He did not belong to an army background. He belonged to a middle class family, but though he led the Indian National Army, he was held as a Netaji. Netaji means a leader. So he is popularly known as Netaji. But in our history, he is given very small place. Okay, so still there is a debate and discussion going on regarding his contribution to the Indian national movement. What happened to him at the end, it still is a mystery, and it will remain as a mystery only. So hope you all have understood everything from this chapter. So this much for today. So we'll again meet in the next class. Till then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.